So I hear they're finally getting rid of Section 8 for a lot of people who don't need it. And I think that's good. I mean, the time of living on the government dole is over. To be honest with you, if you're an able-bodied person who can work, why not get your ass up and go and get a job? Unless you're elderly, disabled, or sick, come on. We got some of us out here, we working 2-3 jobs, and you can't even take one. So let this be a lesson to y'all. All y'all do lay around and wait for the government to pay y'all bills. It's coming to an end. And I hope you were preparing, which a lot of you wasn't. Because instead of standing on those sneaker lines, trying to get the newest pair of Jordans, you should have been standing in line for a job.
Yo. What is up, YouTube? Thank y'all for tuning in today. We got a crazy one for y'all. We're talking about Section 8. Yeah, that government housing program that's supposed to help people who need it, but somehow, somewhere, it's costing taxpayers billions. Billions. And now the government is saying they might end Section 8 in 2025. I know, right? Strap in, because we're going in.
I couldn't stitch the video that has said it, but it was talking about how Section 8 is meant to keep people poor, and it's not as good as it seems. What you guys are not realizing is Section 8 is for women who have men that work and, they're just not on the lease. You know what I'm saying? You have a man that gets money, but he's not on your lease. So all that money that's made is for y'all to completely profit off of without having to worry about your rent going up or not have enough money to pay this. It's also for women who have a side hustle. You know what I'm saying? You do hair. You know what I'm saying? You do nails, lashes, whatever it may be. It is for people who know how to finesse the system. If you do not know how to finesse the system, that is on you. But Section 8 does not keep you poor. Let's not keep that stigma. Let's not keep that stigma.
So I had to evict somebody from Section 8 housing this week. We had this elderly lady who is blind sign a lease with the help of her daughter to occupy this property. This property had been completely redone. Well, the reason I had to evict this lady is she never moved in. Instead, her son-in-law moved in. He was running a business out of this house. The reason this is so upsetting is that this gentleman that took possession of this property took away affordable housing for people that really need it. And he did not qualify for Section 8 because he made too much money, as did his wife. Needless to say, we had to go to court. I evicted them. And my wife was with me because she was the representative of the company. And there is a massive investigation underway because we reported it to Section 8. They ended up doing a welfare check on the lady who was supposed to be living there. She wasn't living there. In fact, she had never moved out of her prior residence. Well, Section 8 informs the district attorney's office, who then informs the ATF because it's federal in nature. And now there's a federal investigation as well as a state investigation.
All right, so y'all, let's talk about these stories y'all been sending in. And I gotta say, some of these got me heated. Like this one comment. Some families are passing down Section 8 as if it's generational wealth. Generational wealth? Y'all, that ain't money in the bank. That's free rent. And somehow, folks are treating it like it's an heirloom or a trust fund. Can y'all imagine your grandma leaving you her old toaster and her Section 8 voucher? Crazy. Then we got this story. I had a coworker who was a single mom with a 3-year-old. She received government assistance for daycare so that she could work. One day, she got offered a promotion and a raise. Her caseworker explained to her that if she took the promotion, she wouldn't qualify for the daycare assistance. But her raise wouldn't be enough for her to cover the daycare cost without assistance. So the caseworker recommended that she turn down the raise and promotion. Hold up. Y'all hear that? That's straight up punishing people for trying to move up in life. You try to get ahead and the system says, nah, stay put. We got you covered. At the same spot, you've been stuck for years. That's some bureaucratic nonsense right there.
Have you, seen people abusing the system and lying about Angel Tree and meh?
I live in West Virginia, okay? It's like the poster child state for abusing the system. I see people that can't afford to feed their fucking kids, but they sure are up at the gas station up the street every day getting their Pall Malls and their fucking case of beer. I love West Virginia. Don't get me wrong. I love my state. I love it. But I see this shit every single day. I see it in the school drop-off line at my Title I school. I see it at the Walmart. I know for a fact most of the people that are on welfare in this county aren't reporting their baby daddy's income or vice versa because they want to be getting benefits and they are okay with that. They want to be impoverished. They have zero desire to get ahead in life and actually take care of themselves. They want to live off of other people's money and handouts. If you don't believe that that happens and don't believe that people cheat the system to get what they want, you're naive. You're naive, and it happens everywhere, not just West Virginia. It happens everywhere. I don't have to judge anyone or make assumptions. They be telling on themselves and showing themselves. Okay? They're doing it for me.
This lady's a handful of months behind, or over 7 or 8 months behind on this $100 part of the payment, right? So initially I go to the house and to file an eviction, and I take the eviction to the door, knock on the door. Lady identifies her, doesn't really identify herself. I asked for somebody and she was perturbed. She was on the phone. I thought she was on the phone with the actual owner of the property. Turns out later I'll find out something different. I hand her the eviction notice and move on. A few more months later, I get a call back from the actual owner and saying, hey, we need to try to do this eviction again. They never actually did what they say they would do. So basically the owner calls back, says they haven't kept up and I need to file the eviction again. So I go back to the house and do the same thing. The same lady answers the door, but then when I say, hey, are you Tammy? She goes, no, I'm not Tammy. I was like, okay, so what's going on here? So come to find out, Tammy, who is the actual Section 8 recipient, who's receiving funding, and the funding is getting paid to the landlord, and she's supposed to pay her small portion of it to the government or to the landlord to make the whole rent. This lady in the house, who we'll call Nicole, is Tammy's sister-in-law or something. And ultimately, long story short, over a year ago, Tammy rented the house, i.e. sublet the house to Nicole, and that's it. And Nicole is telling me she's been paying the full payment to Tammy this whole time.
And don't even get me started on the fraud side of things. Check this one out. I owned an apartment in a lower income area. I had a new tenant that was on Section 8. It can be nice for an owner because you get your rent check every month. However, this lady was driving a new Cadillac Escalade. I thought to myself, oh hell no. Found out she was dealing drugs and I reported her. Now they removed her and she lost her Section 8 handout. Ugh, somebody had to say it. Y'all know you can't be on Section 8 and roll up in a new Escalade, acting like you just stepped out of a rap video. And this ain't just about one person. Stuff like this costs taxpayers big time. Next up, my brother-in-law rented out his house and accepted Section 8 vouchers. Because he thought it would be easy money, the Section 8 tenants he leased to destroyed his house. $50,000 in water and drywall damage. Oh, hell no! $50,000? That's not helping the community, that's turning your house into a demolition project. Y'all, this is why some landlords don't want to touch Section 8. And honestly, can you blame them?
And we talked about this before with the time frame on waiting on Section 8 and vouchers. But a lot of people are passing their vouchers down to their children or friends, family, etc. A lot of people, they add people to their family size. They add people to their lease with housing authority. Of course, they have to pass a background check, credit check, etc. But if that person, passes away or no longer wants the voucher, if any unforeseen circumstance happen or if they just want to give it up, they can transfer it to the other qualifying adult on that lease. Different cities and counties have different rules, but for the most part, I've seen this happen time after time. You will have to, of course, talk to your case manager to see the details on how you do it, but it can be done. You can transfer your voucher to an adult child. Yep, it can be done.
You literally could go get a job and actually afford unsubsidized rent, not being subsidized by the taxpayer. You could go do that. You are literally choosing not to because you want to build your business. Why the are you allowed to leech off the taxpayer?
So all the people that's on Section 8, he is giving y'all 2 years to get on your feet. Trump said stop being dependent and become independent. I agree. I'm not no hating. I'm not knocking nobody's situation. But if you really think about it, Section 8 is only to assist you to get on your feet. Government assistance is not something you should depend on for the rest of your life. Keyword, assistance. to assist you. Y'all done got too comfortable. Too comfortable. There's people that's been on Section 8 for like 10 plus years. Y'all too busy buying the newest shoes, buying the hottest cars, trying to keep up with the trend, buying designer purses, buying designer clothes, but you're in public housing. If you can buy designers, you can pay your house rent without assistance.
Here's another classic. I've been working in New York City for over a decade. The number of luxury cars I've seen parked outside of project buildings is bananas. Bananas? That's a nice way to put it. I'd say straight up outrageous. Y'all, you got folks rolling up in Bentleys and Escalades in housing meant for people struggling. Something ain't adding up, right? And it keeps coming. I work with a lady that lived with her baby daddy and 3 kids. She wore a ring, so I assumed he was her husband. She corrected me, saying they would get married, but they don't want to risk losing her benefits. She received housing benefits, food stamps, and medical aid insurance for her kids. Y'all, this is the part that makes me want to scream and laugh at the same time. People out here doing all kinds of adulting math just to hold on to their benefits. I get it. Survival mode. But it's wild.
Okay, listen. I don't know how many videos I have to post clarifying this, okay? I am not on food stamps. So please stop asking if I received my food stamps this month. I'm not going to receive them this month. I'm not going to receive them next month. I'm not going to receive them next year because I don't get them to begin with. All of those food stamp videos that I posted, all of those welfare videos I posted saying that it's the taxpayers' responsibility to support my 6 kids, that was all rage bait, okay? It was all clickbait, clout chasing, whatever you want to call it, okay? My content revolved around pissing groups of people off for views, okay? And I apologize. I apologize for anybody I may have hurt or offended, okay? That is in the past. I am trying to rebrand myself. So I guess if I have to post a video every day until everybody, or until most of TikTok sees it, then so be it. I am sorry. Don't ask me if I'm on food stamps, nothing. I don't even have health insurance. I make too much for health insurance. I am a taxpayer, okay? Just like you. That's it.
Here's one for the system itself. If you have been in Section 8 for over 2 years, you need to be investigated. Section 8 should be used for veterans, elderly, or disabled. Now that's a point I can get behind. Folks treating Section 8 like a lifetime subscription is not what this program was made for. There's supposed to be some accountability, y'all. We also got, my mother has been on Section 8 since I was 17. I'm 40. I moved out when I was 21. 2 years later, my other 2 siblings moved out as well. Now she is worried about Section 8 being eliminated. She's in her early 60s and has always been a bald-bodied. Man, I feel for her. Some folks genuinely need this help, and if it gets taken away, it's going to hurt a lot of people. But y'all, that's why we got to clean up the fraud and abuse, so programs don't get cut for everyone.
Okay, so I just want to be clear that if you have a baby and you have what the state considers to be cash benefits, which are caretaker supplement, W-2, or child care, then you essentially give the state the ability to ask for child support on your behalf because those benefits are expensive. So you can't come to court and be like, I'm living with my child's father and I get child care, or I get, caretaker supplement for those, for whatever reason, and I don't want to add him as a member of my household for benefits purposes. Not only are we, as the child support attorneys, mandated reporters, but you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. Like, I've literally had participants change their story after they find out that the other parent has to be added as a member of their household. Like, if you don't cooperate and you don't have good cause, like there is a DV or anything like that, and you don't cooperate with child support, those type of benefits can be sanctioned.
I want to say this, and I don't know who it's for, but I know that it needs to be said. If you're on Section 8 and you've never one day in your life thought about getting off of Section 8, you've never said, I want to buy a house, I want to move from here, I want something bigger, and you've never actively worked towards those goals, you're a f***ing gutter rat. You're a loser. Why are you comfortable with that? You know you could get something nicer, right? If you go to work, you know that you could actually live where you want to live. You know your income doesn't have to be capped, right? These Section 8 recipients and low-income housing recipients are what the f*** is wrong with the program. There's nothing wrong with help. I think that's what you guys are missing, because what happens is a lot of Section 8 girls will get on here and start cussing me out, and they'll be in the restricted comments. Why are you cussing me out? You need to be cussing yourself out. That you don't have any f***ing goals for your children. That your children have no generational wealth, and they'll probably never go on vacation either. That your children's dreams are capped on a voucher, you f***ing idiot.
And this one is wild. When I worked for the biggest big box retailer, we had a guy that would come into the store and buy hundreds of cases of soda. I asked him what the soda was for, and he said it was for nursing homes in the area, and he always paid via EBT. After several months, they got tired of him cleaning out the shelves and told him to stop. After that, we found out that he had been banned from other local stores in our town for buying sodas on EBT and selling it to gas stations so they could stock their shelves. Y'all, selling soda bought on EBT to gas stations? Man, some people are straight up exploiting the system like it's a business plan. That's not helping anyone. That's just taking advantage of taxpayers. And finally, this one wraps it up. I used to work at Section 8 apartment and could write a book. Being on Section 8 doesn't mean you are a bad resident. But all the bad residents were Section 8, and they never got in trouble with apartment management because their owners wanted their guaranteed rent. Ah, y'all hear that? Guaranteed rent. Some landlords don't care who you are as long as that check clears every month. That right there is why people take advantage of the system. So there you have it, y'all. Section 8, a program meant to help people, but sometimes abused in ways that cost taxpayers billions. The government is talking about ending Section 8 in 2025, and folks are scared. But if we fix the fraud, maybe programs like this can work for the people who truly need them. Thank y'all for watching. Comment below on your thoughts. How do you feel about what we just discussed? Please like, subscribe, and let's meet up in the next video. And y'all, stay woke.